a lot because yesterday me and D-Lo was just a cool it, and then what's your cousin's name? Shantae Papa was like, let's go riding around. And I guess for me, my personality now, I guess because of who I am, it's very much like I'm not moving. It's like there's nothing to do. But I knew that y'all going out was to like go find niggas. For me, it's like I don't have that reality because I feel like the niggas, I'm the fat friend in the group always. So that puts me at a marginalization in a group full of skinny pretty girls. Like when you go out with skinny girls, the niggas are more so attracted to the majority in the group. I'm never the majority, I'm always the minority. My friends are the privilege that I would like to have. So when I walk into the room, I don't want to be just I don't want to be the fat girl that doesn't have other people that make her better as a person, because privilege makes you feel more human. My friends represent the humanity parts that I want for myself. So they're all pretty girls, all small girls. I don't have any fat friends, unfortunately.
You think that if you started hanging out with like people that were like
fat,
your size or bigger, do you think that you would get the attention then?
I don't know. First? Yeah, I think so, because then our circle wouldn't be toward like, and then it's like I don't want to say that big girls attract corny, lame ass. All I'm saying is my pretty friends, niggas that would talk to the fat girls, I felt like they was lame. So this sounds so bad. Because I don't want to. I know what you said. All I'm saying is pretty girls attract a different caliber of niggas, whereas fat girls. No.
I don't know what niggas TK talking about, but my selection isn't that wide either. So
half the time they treat you like shit too. So I really don't feel like nobody gets a good pick because all these niggas suck.
Don't say pretty. Talk about size with it.
Okay, the bigger, the smaller girls who are also
pretty. Okay,
have a brighter.
Cause I attract lame niggas. I ain't gonna lie.
My niggas have access to the other niggas, whereas fat girls only get lame.
Like it's like we don't.
So all of my friends are skinny and light skinned. It's like, god damn, like it's just like what I attract. Like,
do you think it's something about you? Like she said, like something about
all
you.
All my closest friends are light skinned too.
I don't know. It might be internalized colorism. Would that be the right way to say that? So yeah, internalized colorism. Most of my friends, especially like my best friends, they're all light skinned. I'm always the dark friend, and I don't know if I believe that it's because of internalized colorism. Like the friends that I seek out are just always lighter than me because I just equate lighter to be better, or I put that on a pedestal for some reason. But I also just think that the spaces that I frequent already don't have darker people in them, so I would actually have to go out and find darker friends. Also, when I'm with my dark-skinned friends, I'm the fat one. So it's like they gonna get all of the attention first because if I'm not the dark-skinned friend, then I'm the fat friend. So either way, I'm not anybody's first choice.
On the other end,
period,
them niggas on the other side suck too. Growing up, I feel like I always try to make myself like more delicate, or just like different things like that, feel submissive or da-da-da, so that I didn't seem like the barbarian, the Pam to the Gina. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just always hit, and Pam is gorgeous in my opinion, prettier. But how do they make Pam? The one that's always coming in arguing with Martin, always cussing out her nigga. And half the time, if you really listen at that shit, it's like, no, Gina just soft.
Yeah, as fuck.
Yeah, I just feel like I didn't understand it, why it made me so uncomfortable when I was younger. But as I got older, I feel like that show has just a lot of colorism. You see Pam, who's the light skin, you know what I'm saying, always with the dude, you know what I'm saying, keeping the man, da-da-da, and they always show Pam like she just can't keep no man for real. She always taking jabs at Martin and doing stuff, and it's like, realistically, if you look at it, Martin is always coming for her, always doing shit, and when she comes for him, she has a reason to, but they make it seem like she's just barbaric, and every time that he comes back at her, a lot of times it's something about appearance. He he refers to her like animalistically a lot of times, and yeah, I just don't like that dynamic of, you know, light and dark, and we see that so much in shows. And then it's like sometimes too, when you have pretty privilege in those spaces. It's like people act like I'm still a dark-skinned girl. No matter how pretty I am, no matter how curly my hair is, like I'm still a dark-skinned girl. I still think I'm dark-skinned. I'm black. I'm not mixed with nothing. You know what I'm saying? And proud to be. So it's like people would get around me and say things and say comments and not realize like I'm a part of this community that you're talking about, and you think that I'm gonna be that girl who's gonna like talk about, oh, I'm different. You know, I'm dark skinned, but I'm different because I have this and I have that. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And exactly. And so as I got older, I feel like when I was younger, I feel like I just wouldn't say anything. Like I was never one to just be bashing down people or anything like that. But I wouldn't feel like I could speak because, like I said, I was too scared. Like it's like, yes, this world sucks, but I don't want to be on the other side either. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if I gotta choose my battle, I'm gonna stay over here. But now that I've gotten more comfortable into where I'm at and more comfortable in my skin, I started speaking up. So like a lot of times you be around dudes and they get to like bashing, like if they bash like fat people or girls with different types of hair, like I don't let people call my hair good hair. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I would put a nigga in a place, and that actually started bringing me peace. That started making me feel like if you have the girls that have it, use it for good. Not sit and be pretty and be that pretty girl that has an ugly spirit, because those girls are uglier to me. Those are the ugliest girls.
And those are girls that it's like my problem is not your problem.
Exactly.
It's like if my sis feels that way, even if I don't have this problem like specifically, I still have a problem like that, and I know how it feels.
You gotta help your other girl and
that's why I was so like irritated with the Chris Brown shit. It really wasn't even about him. It really wasn't even about what he said. It was more so about girl, you are a black woman, so even if you feel like your hair is good and your hair is always done, sis over here doesn't, and that's why she's upset. The situation with Chris Brown when he made a song about black women having good hair, it wasn't Chris Brown's comment that annoyed me. It was more so the black women that weren't standing up for other black women. Even if you have good hair or whatever that means to you, you know the history that comes behind black women in our hair, and that is a sensitive topic to us. So I believe that, you know, if your sis over here feels like, well, damn, I don't like that he said that, then you as a black woman should kind of understand where she's coming from. So like we all have to stand up for each other.
And people will listen to you and receive messages differently. Like for example, they'll listen. So it's like I've talked to, you know, dudes like about different things, and they be like, oh, I never thought about it like that. And I'm like, I bet you somebody has told you that 13,000 different times. But it's the fact that you came and you were trying to talk about this to impress me and put other women down and try to make, because a lot of women though, they feel good being on the outskirts. They feel good seeing.
That's why don't come to me talking about your baby mama.
No, I don't want to hear about it.
You bash her, even if she is in the wrong. I don't want to hear about it.
The way you disrespect
first of all, where is how you gonna disrespect?
It's the way you if I let you disrespect a woman in front of me, you're going to disrespect me.
But men,
so you have to shut it down.
They benefit from the dissect in the community, because if I tell you that you're better and you're other, that it makes you feel like you're special or whatever. We're all, in my opinion, we're all the same. We're all the men that you guys talk about how they do that. They automatically say things negative about another woman. I also feel like they do that to kind of pick apart where you are as a woman, because when they say like, oh well, these dark skinned girls da 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 da, and you are a dark skinned girl, it like for me, you trying to vet me, you trying to see where I am in my.
They're trying to keep you down.
Awareness,
they're trying to keep you down. Even if you are even if you are up, they're trying to pull you back down, and they're trying to remind you. I have so many dudes that will like make me like, when in the beginning, you know, they treat you so pretty, like, oh my, you're so pretty, you're so this, you're so that, and they get you and they treat you like literal shit.
I've had a man tell me like, oh, you're making me a black man.
Yeah.
Oh, you making me start to like black girls again. So, and I said, so what does that mean? Because I am the epitome of a black woman, not a black woman. I am from a black woman. She's from a black woman.
Okay.
I'm not mixed with nothing. I am black.
Okay. When girls, like, when they say that, there's so many women, they be like, oh, that's why you have these women that be like, we are not the same, sis. I'm doing this and you're doing this and we're not the same. Because he told you are not the same. But at the end of the day, sis, we're
the
same.
But that's the thing. He's not, that is the thing. They do that. Okay, this is what they do. It's like a manipulation thing. So they make you feel like you're on this pedestal, and they feel like you're just so much better than other people. And nobody is making you feel like you're better other than these niggas, because those are the only people who are really downing your sis to make you feel better.
Yeah.
So then once they get you, they start pulling all that away. So what happens is it's like your identity, your worth, your value gets connected to him making you feel like you're better, you're different, or you're this or you're that. And then when he starts treating your ass like not even the same, like worse, then you have literally nothing, and that's how they can control you, that's how they can message you, and that's why you see all these gorgeous ass, beautiful women with these dumb ass niggas that aren't doing them right, that are cheating on them, that are doing all this stuff, because it's like, again, they go into that. So it's like, you as, like me, I don't want no nigga that's trying to make me feel good by making another woman feel good. Tell me how I'm good, just how I'm good.
So I always say when like pretty privilege comes up, I don't know if I have pretty privilege, because like I don't think that I'm super pretty, and people like will look at me and be like, yeah, she's super pretty. But I know that I have big booty privilege, if that's a thing.
Yes, that's another thing.
That's
Your body. And that's because I almost think that privilege with your body can advance you further than your face.
Yeah.
Because if your face is fine as fuck, but your body is just like if you
like
fat or just doesn't
shit,
or like you know like
that's still pretty privilege though. It does give you one up because of your appearance.
Yes,
it's pretty privilege.
Yes, and I feel like I have experienced that more, and I feel like when I'm around my friends who have that ideal body, I get no attention.
None. And I
don't
get
none.
I want to speak to like the level of what we're saying when we say pretty privilege. It's not that you get treated better. I think that people should word it as there's a level of humanization that goes on with the privilege in any section. So when we say, like, to make it a blanketed statement, when you think of racism, there's a level of humanization that white people get that we don't.
Yeah.
When you think of colorism, there's a level of humanizations that light-skinned people get that dark-skinned people don't. It trickles down to, even in misogyny, there's a level of privilege that men get that women do not. So when we're talking, all of us at this table have more than one of those marginalizations. So that's 4 different ways of dehumanization that we have to find some type of humanization in. So like for me, it's like 5, 6, 7 different ones, but I still have to find like that level of privilege in my own experience, and that's where the confidence comes from. You have to find ways to exist in those spaces.
I wonder if that's why I want to be famous, because I feel like I need to be seen. Because I don't feel seen as a black woman, like as a darker black woman at that. So it's like, damn, maybe because it's just like that's the only other power that I can get.
And it's a level of protection that you can have.
Right.
And it's a lot, like, people don't understand the amount of protection, the amount of privilege that goes into these things. And that's why I get frustrated when people be like, oh, you just mad because you ugly. And it's like, because of that, you get to say that. You get to dehumanize me. And you get to also hush me, because everybody gonna always run with, oh, she just mad because she.
Right. That's always everything. Whether you disrespecting me or not, it's gonna always come back to
that. You walk in a white face, it's like, oh, you always bringing up race. Like, it's always a race thing. It's like, but those
it is.
They exist.
Those are effective, and you wouldn't know because you don't talk.
And you'll never know. And you also have the privilege to hush me because the majority doesn't want to hear it anyway.
Right.
So if I open my mouth, it's like, nobody got time for that.
Right. Like you said, it's a feeling of unprotected. We feel unprotected.
That's what black women
unprotected.
is the most unprotected. Because even our men don't protect us.
No.
Getting into a party.
Yeah. I've experienced that.
We all go into a party and they talking about charging people at the door. But you come in and it's like, oh, I don't want to pay. And they're like, shit, okay, you can get in free.
Yeah.
It depends on what group of friends you go with. And me and my friends, I remember one time we went to a party, we split up in a line so that we could both be like the cute ones.
Right. Oh, that's
so, cause like I had on a skirt or something I had on, but my booty was popping.
Period.
So I'm like, I'ma go in, show that ass, and they talking about, oh yeah, go in. I'm talking about, yes, great. So then she come in, she like maybe 3 people in between us. She come in and they talking about, oh damn, you cute as fuck.
So you had the body, she had like the...
She's light skinned.
Yeah.
Got cute hair.
That's why with my friends, like, I've never not, like, I don't like going out with, and this sounds so shallow, but I don't give a fuck. I don't like going out and not feeling like I belong as a person. So my circle is always going to represent the privilege that I want. So if I go out and my girls getting free, you're gonna let me in because you don't want to be without my girls.
Right.
And that's always been my experience. Like if I go somewhere, we go to a club, go to the hookah bar, you're gonna want to impress me too, because if you buy her hookah and you're not buying me, then my friend gonna be looking at you
Like, get
alright,
around,
bitch, what's up? A good example of pretty privilege, and it's crazy because I was trying to explain to a friend that Kylie Jenner and Jordan situation is pretty privileged. Like in my opinion,
let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Like Jordan was that only, that black person for a while in that state, and so you already feel like you don't belong. And then for the second that we fall out, you to replace me with somebody that's in your face, it makes me feel like, damn, did I ever really belong? Was I ever really your friend, or was I just your ticket into blackness? Was I your ticket into this world? Was I ticket into here? And then now all of a sudden, whatever, now you just continue bashing.
But if she would have replaced her with a black friend, though, it would have still been like,
it would have been a problem.
It would have been a problem.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been bad regardless.
Maybe Stassi really was just Kylie's second friend, and when her and Jordan fell out, that's what what it, because I've had that happen too. But as a person, like I said, who's been there, that's just where your mind goes because of the already just internalized like feelings you have when you have friendships.
It's like shit like that, like the Kardashian shit like that happen every day in real friendship. It's like, and it's amongst women of color too, because we're trying to climb the power scale. It's just like bitches be befriending bitches to attach onto that privilege, and then once they get that privilege, they leave and find a new privilege. Every time. It's power. It's so much power, but the most power is in authenticity, and that's what bitches need to realize. Like, sis, you can do all of this all you want to, but you gonna wake up one day, and realize that you don't know who you are. You gonna wake up lost. Because everybody on the outside have told you you're pretty, you're this, you're that, but you don't know who you are. You don't know what your purpose in life is. Your whole mission in life has been to overcome who you hated to be. So now you don't know who you are.
And Brittany Renner spoke on that. She literally, like, I don't know if y'all follow. Right.
It's a build-up. It was a build-up.
But it's like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Brittany Renner. She used to be Bundles by Brittany or whatever. She started out as like this like fitness personality, and then like it turned into just like a super like sex guy, and she was writing a book and all this stuff and came back. But she literally finally came out and started making videos. Like she cut her hair, started wearing her hair more natural, and she just was like, I had to leave, this LA area. Like I have to start over. She's like, I started looking into the mirror. She's like, she said on her 26th birthday, she just looked in the mirror and was like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know where my purpose is. Like what y'all see on Instagram, I'm not this person. She said she got to the point where she was looking at her post and she's like, I know this isn't me, but this is who y'all believe me to be. So now I feel like I have to be this person. And I respect her genuinely for starting over and for genuinely saying like, you know what, I'm about to find a way and I'm about to find me. And she is that. She's biracial, big ass, curly hair, what I'm saying? All of that, what you would assume, again, societal's beauty standards, and she still, even in that world, was just like, I don't know, Wayne. I've been trying to please y'all for so long, this shit. What am I?
I'm a person that like, and this is just I'm always in deep thought, shit like that, but I have learned that people who aren't aware of their privilege are a danger to me, because you could easily put me in a situation, not on purpose, always by mistake. I'm not one of those people who believe that, or I'm not a person who meets people who have negative intentions. So I know that if you do something to me, it's not intentional, but what it does for me really puts me at an effect, and I personally don't feel like teaching an adult how to be a better adult. Like I just feel like you should be aware of your privilege. You shouldn't be an asshole, and I don't want to be in a circle where I become the butt of the joke because I am in your circle. That would piss me off. So I feel like when you like, and it doesn't just go for pretty privilege, just like for white people. If a white person does not believe in the fact that they have privilege,
I can't be friends with them. You'll get hurt. You'll get hurt. That's why it's like at the end of the day, even for people who may not, acknowledge their privilege in the beginning, because sometimes people don't feel like they have a privilege or things like that, and they do. You have to just, if people are uncomfortable, just be a good friend and go. Even if you don't understand why, even if you think it's petty, even if you still want to stay, if your friend is uncomfortable, let's normalize just leaving and not making a conversation.
You not even put your friend in that situation. Because I feel like you could avoid so much more if you knew your privilege. But when you, and then like that's why I feel like a lot of breakdowns happen where you're like, oh, she acted funny or she acted this. It's like, no, you don't know the anxiety that people go through. And we're a lot more self-aware than a lot of people. So a lot of people don't know how to vocalize, like, oh, this makes me uncomfortable because this marginalization, and I'm gonna get, like, I know how to tell y'all I feel uncomfortable going around a group of niggas because you guys will get humanized in a way that I won't, and I will not feel seen. So I would rather y'all do y'all thing and I stay and play the back because I don't want to get treated like that. A lot of people don't know how to say that, so then you have people who come, like, friendships break down because you're like, oh, she fake around this person, she act like this around this person. It's like, no, I don't feel comfortable and I don't know how to vocalize it.
Yeah, because it's like, it is, like I said, it's knowing your privilege is very important, but even still, like, for those who don't, like, know your friends and their things too. If you notice that every time you take your friends around this group of people, or every time you bring up this topic, or every time you do this, they get uncomfortable, they stop shutting down, they don't act the same, like, stop. You know, like just.
But it's also, just because I have some privileges that you don't, if your privilege is the one that's making me feel uncomfortable, like, let's say we at a party. Okay, yes. Okay, people are talking to me, but you are the ones that brought them here. So just because I don't feel like being around there and you're like, oh, well, they were talking to you, it's like, okay, but you are what got them over here. I wasn't human until they didn't like you.
Yeah, that's a good point. I also feel like not having pretty privilege, it like sparks personality because it forces you to be a part of other shit.
It
like,
forces you to have something else.
Yeah, to have depth. And a lot of like people's brands that I see, I saw this tweet and it said a lot of y'all brands is because y'all are light skinned and y'all have 3C hair.
Yes.
But you know what? I don't want to be that like I don't want to say that out loud to seem like, oh, that hating bitch, that, you know, but it's like literally if I looked like you, I could have the same brand as you, but because that is deemed pretty in this society, it's like I have to have depth, or my brand is not gonna do.
But I feel like that's why the girls though. But I feel like that's why a lot of the other girls, they pop more. Like, for example, if you look at I don't know if y'all know the difference, but Kiara Harper versus Aaliyah Janelle. Like, Kiara Harper is the she's dark. She's like darker skin. In my opinion, her choreography is always top of the line, whereas like Aaliyah can literally just hair whip, look you in your eye, rub on her titty, and it's gonna get 70,000 million likes. Versus like people like, I say Aaliyah Janelle and I say Kiara Harper, people don't even know who they are. They dance in the same studio half the time, but it's like you don't see it. They were in that video with Chris Brown. I don't know if y'all remember. It was these two girls dancing to Chris Brown. Was it No Guidance? And they did the two, and people was making a huge deal because they're like, Chris Brown cheated the dark skinned girl out the video. It wasn't that he cheated the girl out the video, it was that he picked Aaliyah Janelle's video over Kiara Harper's video because she was like, Kiara was trying to say like, no, it wasn't about pretty privilege, it's just that, you know, the video from her page cheated her just like the video from my page cheated mine. But it's also like, when are we ever going to get to see him pick the girl pick from your page where the dark skinned girl is the one that's in the frame more? You're never going to see that. So that's why it's like, maybe in that instance, yes, he may have got it from her page, but had he not, if he had to choose, at the end of the day, he's going to choose where you can see her more versus seeing the other girl in the exact same choreography. So it's like, it goes down to even when you are up there and famous and known and all those things, even when you are in a brand, you see these influencers, it's like you just see the difference between those who are lighter versus those who are darker.
What I want to make sure that we do is that, like, a lot of people in this conversation, especially light-skinned people, they start to feel attacked. They're like, oh, well, what am I supposed to do about that? Take this conversation and replace white with light skin, or the white with pretty, or all these other things, and imagine what you would like a white person to do. I'm not asking a white person to apologize for your whiteness. What I am asking you to do is use your whiteness to make me comfortable and open doors for me and bring me in spaces so I don't have to feel dehumanized, because you want to be my friend. If you're my friend, I want you to feel like a human being.
Right.
I'm not asking you to apologize for me.
And know that just because, at the end of the day, at the end of all days, just because you are helping people that do not have pretty privilege, it does not exclude you from having pretty privilege. So just a lot of people think just because they're helping the cause, they're not a part of the system that oppresses. It's like you're still a part of that.
And I hate to be a bitch, but just because you're helping people with their privilege doesn't mean you need to get applauded.
If you know that you are already that person, this conversation isn't to you. It's just like, for example, on Facebook, I have so many white people on my Facebook that I'm friends with, and I tweet about white oppression and all day, and half the time the white people are the ones who comment and share this stuff the most, because at the end of the day, you know that I'm not talking to you because you're not that person. And when you feel attacked, if you find yourself feeling attacked, you find find yourself feeling defensive or feeling need to say anything negative, wonder why. Why do you feel so defensive about this? Because it doesn't feel, I don't feel uncomfortable when people talk about pretty privilege, even though I know that I have it, because one, you gotta know that you have it, and two, like, it's not a lot.
Even it's in the compliments that you do give dark skinned people. And I don't want to hear, like, I even correct my boyfriend, oh, you look so chocolate. I don't like that, because it's like fetishizing me. And it's like, am I just cute because I'm dark skinned, or am I just cute?
Mm-hmm. I also want people to be clear that pretty, being considered pretty is not just like a face card. It's not like, oh, I have like a pretty face, I'm pretty. It's like the aesthetic of you, like the long hair, the nice body. It's not just about the face card, because people with okay faces can have pretty privilege. You know, like they can have the sew-ins and have the body and wear makeup, and they can do all that and
it's pretty by societal standards is what we're referring to as pretty. Because really at the end of the day, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody is beautiful. When we're saying pretty, it's not this person's one, this is gotta be light skin with this hair type. No, like she said, that's all types of everybody. It's all people, you know what I'm saying, that's got pretty privileges. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's just about what society looks for in people who fit the goals of society. The long hairs, the long lashes, the big lips, the, you know what I'm saying, the big titties, the hips, like all of that stuff goes into it.